today we are going to learn and revise the linear equation in two variables. In our previous lectures, we have already finished what or why it is called as linear equation in two variables. Student, definition wise, linear means the power of the variables must be one, equation that contains equality sign, and two variables, the pair of variable called x and y we are choosing. We may choose u and v, or we may choose x and t. Okay, students? So considering this thing, the general form of this linear equation in two variable is our ax plus by plus c equals to 0. Students, the standard form or the general form of linear equation in two variable is ax plus by plus c is equals to 0. Here a, b, c are real number. If any of this a or b becomes 0, it will turn into linear equation in one variable. Students, then we had learned the solution means the value of x and y or the pair x and y which satisfies the equation is called as solution. We had also learned the graph of this linear equation in two variable is always a straight line, and this is straight line may be of different type. Example, if we want to plot a linear equation in two variable over the graph, on this x-axis we are plotting the x, and on this y-axis we are plotting the variable y. This is origin. Then the graph can be like this one, it can be like this one, it can be even parallel to x-axis, or it can be parallel to y-axis, or it can cut like this. It can be any kind of line, but surely it will be the straight line. All of these are possible. Students, let us take one question. Student, find k or find p if the point say p1 minus p lies on the graph of the equation. Let us take 2x minus 3y plus 4 is equals to 0. So here it is given that this point p and 1 minus p lies on the graph of this line. Students, we have learned that graph of this equation means the value of x and y or the solution. So it is the plot of possible solutions which satisfy this equation. Students, let us solve this question. We have to find the value of p if the point p and 1 minus p lies on the graph of the line 2x minus 3y plus 4 is equals to 0. Students, here the point is our p and 1 minus p. This lies on the line represented by 2x minus 3y plus 4 is equals to 0. It simply means whatever the x is there, x is corresponding to this point p. So we have to substitute x equals to p and y is equals to 1 minus p. These two things we have to, students, we have to substitute x equals to p and y equals to 1 minus p in this equation. So on substituting, we get, let us substitute it. So in place of x, we have to take the p. So it becomes 2p minus 3. Y is our 1 minus p. So be careful regarding substitution. So it is 1 minus p. This we have to keep inside the bracket because it is 3y and y is 1 minus p. So this 3 will multiply to both the term 1 as well as the p. Therefore, we have to take it inside the bracket. Plus 4 is equals to 0. Now, we have to find the value of p from this equation. It is 2p minus of 3p, 3 into 1 become 3, then 3 into p become 3p, but the sign is minus and minus become plus. So plus 3p plus 4 is equals to 0. Go for adding the variable. Now it is like p. 2 plus 3 is 5p. Go for adding or subtracting the constant. It is like 4 minus 3. So plus 1 is equals to 0. This implies 5p is equals to minus 1. So p is equals to minus of 1 by 5. Drawing the graph, we have learned last day where the equation was taken. For drawing the graph, we have to find at least 3 solutions. Those solutions are plotted, and joining it, we are getting the straight line. Student, from this, the point where it cuts the x-axis, that can be determined. Or even without drawing the graph, the point where this equation cuts the x-axis can be determined, because on x-axis y is 0. So substituting y equals to 0, we are getting the x as 3. So even without drawing the graph, we can also get it. Similarly, from this graph, the point where it cuts the y-axis can be determined. Or algebraically, substituting x equals to 0, we can get the point where it cuts the y-axis. Based on this, the question is asked even by drawing the graph or without drawing the graph. Students, take one more question. Students, find the coordinate of point where the equation, let us consider 3x minus 4y minus 12 is equals to 0, cuts the x-axis and y-axis. Cuts the x-axis and y-axis. Students, our next question is, we have to find the coordinate of the point where the equation 3x minus 4y minus 12 cuts the x-axis and y-axis. Students, here plotting the graph is not asked, but what is asked? Whatever the equation given, that will surely represent a straight line, then where this line intersects the x-axis and y-axis. Let us consider this is the line. Then we have to find the coordinate of this point and coordinate of this point. Students, no need to plot the entire graph. Rather, algebraically we can get it very quickly. Students, we are knowing that for the point on x-axis, its coordinate is given by x and y becomes 0. For the coordinate of the point on y-axis, its x coordinate is 0, y will be some value. So considering this and using this in this equation or given equation, we can get the x. So students, whatever the equation given, rewrite it. 3x minus 4y minus 12 is equals to 0. So the point where it cuts the x-axis. So for cutting or touching the x-axis, students, here we are getting that if the line is cutting x-axis, its y coordinate is 0, its y value is equals to 0. Then when this y value becomes 0 in this equation, then whatever the value of x that we will get, that will give this x, means the x coordinate. So for the point cutting x-axis, y is equals to 0. Therefore, substitute this 0 here. 3x minus 4 into 0 minus 12 is equals to 0. It simply means 3x minus 0 minus 12. This becomes 12 on right hand side. It is like finding x when y is equals to 0. So the x value is 12 by 3. It is our 4. Therefore, the point or the coordinate of point where it cuts x-axis is what? X value we have calculated 4 and y is 0. So even without drawing this line, we can get it algebraically very quickly. If it is asked by plotting the graph, then taking more solution, we have to get it. Otherwise, if it is not asked, then for the point on x-axis, we have to take its y is equals to 0. Calculate this x. Student, this is what? This is one of the solution. Again, for cutting y-axis, students, here we are getting that if the line is cutting this y-axis, its x coordinate is 0. Then substitute x is equals to 0 and find the value of y. Therefore, substituting this, x equals to 0, 3 into 0 minus 4y minus 12 is equals to 0. It is like minus of 4y is equals to 12. So y is 12 by minus 4. It is our minus 3. Therefore, the point is, students, now x is 0, y is minus 3. Therefore, coordinate on y-axis, or the point where it cuts the y-axis, is 0, minus 3. Here we are getting from origin, it is downward. This way, the x and y can be calculated. Even the same is also the intercept. What is the x-intercept? This much. Here we have calculated, this is our 4, 0, and this b value is our 0, minus 3. So x-intercept, this much, is our 4. The y-intercept, this much, it is downward, minus 3. So we can get it algebraically. Algebraically, just like finding the solution when x equals to 0 for cutting on y-axis, and finding y is equals to 0 when it is cutting the x-axis. Okay, what is the other kind of question what is being asked? Students, then plotting the graph is the other question. Draw the graph of following. Students, the first one that we have learned, say x plus 2y is equals to 6. Second one, x minus 7 is equals to 0. The third one, x or 2x plus 5 is equals to 0. The fourth one, 2y minus 7 is equals to 0. Fifth one, 3y is equals to 9. These are the equation whose graph we have to draw. Students, here we have to draw the graph of the following equation. The first one is x plus 2y is equals to 6. Second is x minus 7 is equals to 0. Third, 2x plus 5 is equals to 0. Fourth is 2y minus 7 is equals to 0. And fifth one is 3y is equals to 9. Let us draw the graph. Just to recall the concept, x plus 2y is equals to 6. We have to draw the graph. For this, we have to tabulate some of the solution. And the best way is to take at least 3, in which on this first row we will take x, and in this second we will take the or calculate the y. Let us take this x value as 0. So taking this x equals to 0 plus 2y is equals to 6. This is going to give us y is equals to 6 by 2 is 3. So this 3 will come here. Yeah. So the solution is 0, 3. Students, similarly, we have to take some other values. Let us take y is equals to 0. So taking this y is equals to 0, as y is equals to 0 we are taking, we will calculate this x. Plus x is equals to 6. This implies this becomes 0. The x value is now 6. So the solution is 6, 0. Another time we shall take one of the value, either negative or positive. Let us take x is equals to 2. Substitute x equals to 2 plus 2y is equals to 6. This implies 2y is equals to 6 minus 2 is 4. So 4 by 2, y become 4 by 2, it is 2. You can take any value of x, you can calculate y, or you are free to take the any value of y, you can calculate the x. So this pair is our 2, 2. Students, you may take some negative value also. Let us take minus 1. Last day I had explained this thing. A student, taking x equals to minus 1, we have to calculate the value of y, means a solution. Take this x equals to minus 1 plus 2y is equals to 6. This time the y value will be 7 by 2. It will be 3.5. 3.5. Students, you are also free to take even y value first. Let us consider y is equals to minus 1. Students, if we are considering y is equals to minus 1, that minus 1 we have to substitute here. Plus 2 into minus 1 is equals to 6. This equation, the x becomes this 2 into minus 1 become minus 2 on left hand side. On right hand side it becomes plus. So it is 8. It becomes 8. Okay. So these are the solutions. So this table is nothing but it is the collection of some of the solutions. From here we are getting there are large number of such solutions. Now these solutions are to be plotted on the graph. Substitute it or plot it. Students, take this one vertical line, another horizontal line. Make the scale on your graph paper. The bigger square box as 1, 2, 3, 4. After that, we have to substitute these points. Student, the first point is our x is 0, y is 3. X is 0, y is 3 means on x-axis we need not move. We have to go to y-axis directly. This indicates x0 means starting from the origin on x, do not move. Move on the y-axis. Since y is positive, so we have moved to positive point. This point is our 0, 3. Let us take the other one. X is 6, y is 0. Student, our x is 6. On x-axis we need to move this 6, but y 0 on y-axis we need not move. The second point. Third point, x is 2, y is 2. Both x and y is 2, 2. So when x is 2, come to this 2, then y is also 2. It is the positive. So students, to this point, then x is minus 1, means it will be this one. The y value is 3.5. It is somewhere here. Student, x is 8, y is minus 1. You are getting that. When x is 8, y is minus 1. It is coming somewhere here. This way we are getting all these 3 points. Sorry, all these points. Whatever we have plotted, we are getting that all of them lies on the straight line. Plot it carefully. You will get surely it will be a straight line. So we have to mark it carefully. On the graph paper, you will get it surely. All of this point will lies at the same point. Students, joining all these points, we are getting this a straight line. So this is the graph. Over this graph, we have to write down the equation. This is the graph of equation x plus 2y is equals to, students, here we had observed, this time it is like this one. Earlier we had also observed that the graph is like this one. Students, even before that we had also plotted for the graph. It is this one. We are getting that all these graphs are what? A straight line. They may be oriented like this one, this one, this one, this one, anyway. Students, this way the question 1 is finished. Let us come to the second question. X minus 7 is equals to 0. The second question is very important. We are given with x minus 7 is equals to 0. This we have to plot on. Students, this can be plot on. The first one is called as number line. Number line. The second one is called as the coordinate system. Students, this equation we have to put on the number line and second time on the coordinate system. So if we are considering for the number line, then we have to take only one line, the real number line. Students, let us consider for the A on the number line. How is this? Students, the given equation is x minus 7 is equals to 0. It means simply the x is equals to 7. Means what? We have to put this 7 only on the number line, and we have learned that number line is just only one of the horizontal line. It is representing a point only. This is our 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so on the right hand side, and on left hand side minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, so on. Students, all these are equidistant point on this number line. So x equals to 7 we have to put. So just mark x equals to 7. It is here. This we have done in our chapter number 1. Means how to put this real number 7 on the number line. It is simply like that. So on number line, only one horizontal line, there we have to put. Students, but the next one called on coordinate axis. On coordinate axis. Students, on coordinate axis means we have the two-dimensional plane rather than this number line. Our x minus 7 is equals to 0. Though this x value is 7. Student, whether it depends on y? Students, this x value is 7. X is always 7 irrespective of y. Whatever the value of y, that doesn't matter because the x is always 7 because the y is not involved here. Why this y is considered? Because now we are going to plot on the coordinate system. Students, we have learned that in coordinate system we have this horizontal line x-axis dash called x-axis and another vertical line y dash called y-axis. So in coordinate system we have to put the point in these planes, or we have to draw a line, not a single point. But in this number line, means plotting on number line, it was simply one point. But this linear equation will represent another straight line in this plane. Students, here we are getting that this x is always 7 irrespective of y. Means even if we consider y value is 0, still the x is 7. Why? Students, you may understand, here we have this x minus 7 is equals to 0. Though it is linear equation in one variable, but if we want to take in two variable, what it will be? X plus 0 into y minus 7 is equals to 0. Students, if you are taking x as 7 or if you are taking y as 0, what will be the value? X plus 0 into 0 minus 7 is equals to 0. This implies the x value is 7 when we are taking y is equals to 0. Students, if we are taking y is equals to 1, what will be the value of x? Even if we are taking y is equals to 1, substitute this 1 in this equation, what we have written in the two variable. Why two variable? We need the two axes. Okay? Then still it is x plus 0 into 1 minus 7 is equals to 0. Students, 0 into 1 is still 0. Minus 7 is equals to 0. So x is still 7. Students, even if we take any value of y, say minus of 3, what it will be? Y is taking minus of 3, x, substitute in this, plus 0 into minus 3 minus 7 is equals to 0. Still we are getting this 0 into minus 3 is 0, x is equals to 7. Means x value is still 7. So what are the table or what are the points that we have to put? So students, if we are tabulating this, we will get the table is like this one. Whatever the value of y we are taking, that doesn't matter. X can be 7 and 7 only. Student, x cannot have any other value, otherwise this equation will not satisfy. So even if we are taking this as 7, it is 0, 7, even 1, 7 minus 3, 7, 2. Students, in this case, you cannot take like this x as 2 and calculate y. Can you calculate it? No. Student, when the equation is x minus 7 is equals to 0, taking x equals to 2, we do not have the y to calculate. Minus 7 is equals to 0. Student, it means minus 5 is equals to 0. This become wrong. Why? It is wrong because we have taken x value as 2. Then this mathematics fails. Therefore, the x value shall never be taken here as 2 or anything else. It can be 7 only, irrespective of y. Therefore, we shall not take x any other value if the x value is a fixed 1. This is important.
Sir, if y is 7, then
Still it will remain the same thing, no? Students, even if you are taking y is 7, what is our equation in which we are going to substitute? This is the equation. Though this do not contain y, but if we want to write in term of y, it is written as x plus 0 into y minus 7 is equals to 0. Substitute y is equals to 0. Sorry, substitute y equals to 7. It becomes x plus of 0 into 7 minus 7 is equals to 0. 0 into 7 is how much? This term becomes 0, student. So x plus 0 minus 7 is equals to 0. Still the x remains 7. Means x minus 7 equals to 0. X is 7. Means even y is 7. Still this x value is 7. Okay, student? So in this case, we need to choose the y, not the x. Wherever only x is equals to some number or only the equation is in x itself. So these are the few values or few solutions that we have collected. Students, in all these cases, we are getting that x value is always 7. What are the point? The point or the coordinate can be, here it is our 7, 0, 7, 1, 7 minus 3, even 7, 2, 7, 7. So we have to substitute these points. Students, let us substitute it. X is 7, y is 0. Let us mark this point. Students, now this point we have to plot. Our x is 7, y is 0. What it could be? Starting from here, x is 7, y is 0. This is the point 7, 0. Student, other one is what? X is 7, y is 1. X is 7, y is our 1. We have to move just 1 unit ahead. We are able to reach to this point. It is our 7, 1. Student, x is 7, y is minus 3. Coming to this minus 3 point, and this, it is our 7 minus 3. Student, x is 7 when y is 7. Even coming to this, 6 and 7 will be here. It is our 7, 7. What we are getting? Now we have to join these points. X is equals to 7 represent a line which is parallel to y-axis and it is perpendicular to x-axis. Okay, so simple kind of thing we have to keep in mind. So what is this? It will represent a line parallel to y-axis at a distance of how much, students? It is our 7 unit. At a distance of 7 unit in x direction, in positive x, x. It is this one. Okay, so it is a line parallel to y-axis or a perpendicular line on x-axis. So if we are considering this as x-axis, this line is perpendicular. So this is the graph of x minus 7 is equals to 0 or x is equals to 7. So what is the difference between this? Student, if we are plotting on the number line, what this represent? This is a point at 7. But in coordinate system, it is a line parallel to y-axis at 7 unit distance or a perpendicular line on x-axis at 7 unit. Student, the same question was asked in the same fashion. You have to plot this x minus 7 is equals to 0 on the number line once and another time in coordinate axis. This was asked in your examination. Okay, you will see while you will solve the previous year paper, you will come across this question. Students, let us solve one more question. We have to plot 2y plus 5 is equals to 0 on, in the first case, on a real number line or number line or on the horizontal line, and in second, our coordinate system. This coordinate system is basically the graph. This is just plotting the real number. Students, again understand it carefully. We have this 2y plus 5 is equals to 0. Students, from here if we are calculating this y, we will get that y is minus of 5 by 2. If any student have any doubt, then they may understand like this. Keep this 2y here. This 5 will go on right hand side, become minus. Then this y is minus 5. This 2 will come in this denominator. If we want to divide it, we can write it in the decimal form, like minus of 2.5. Students, to draw this, no need to do the calculation what I have explained here. Student, this explanation was to make you understand that this x minus 7 is equals to 0 will represent a line because it is not depending on y, while we are plotting on xy coordinate system. Students, so this calculation is not required. Very simple to draw, and just in a minute you can do it. How? Students, you observe it carefully. Whatever the conclusion that we have written, students, the conclusion that we have written that this is representing a line. Here we are getting that x equals to 7 is what? So this is the coordinate system. On x-axis, move up to 7 and draw perpendicular line. Similarly, for drawing this, the graph of this equation, which is in y, we have calculated the y is minus 2.5. So just allocate the point 2.5, means minus 2.5 on y-axis, and draw a line parallel to x-axis. So for drawing this, take the coordinate system, students, on your graph paper. Students, so just make this a skill on your graph paper. Then for drawing this, the simplest thing is allocate just y is equals to minus of 2.5. On coordinate system, I am directly drawing. So where is 2.5 and negative? It will be in between. This is the point. Students, once you allocated that this point is on y-axis, means you need to draw a line parallel to x-axis and passing through it. So take the scale and just get it. So students, take your scale and draw a line parallel to this. That's all. How we have determined? Very easy thing, students. From last conclusion, we have concluded that if we have the x value, we were moving x, drawing a line parallel to y-axis. Students, it is y is equals to this much, means we have to move on the y-axis up to this much, minus 2.5. This coordinate may be taken as this point only, as x value is 0 on y-axis and y value is minus 2.5. Students, even if we are taking this point, let us consider this point. This coordinate can be written very easily, because in this case x we have taken as the 4, but y remains the same, minus 2.5 or 5/2. Students, this line obtained is a representation of this equation in xy coordinate system. So what is this? It is simply from here, while you will get the y is equals to some real number or a fixed number, it will represent a graph. Graph is a straight line, is a straight line parallel to, students, it is y have some fixed value, so it will be parallel to x-axis and at 2.5 unit downward or toward negative y-axis at y is equals to minus 2.5. Directly we can write. So it is this graph, okay? The same thing. Over this, we can write even 2y plus 5 is equals to 0, or even y is equals to minus of 2.5. Both mean the same, because these two are the same thing. So simple kind of thing, students. But if it is asked to plot on the number line, then very easy. If it were asked to plot on the number line, very easy thing, students. At that time we need to take this number line as y directly, take this as 0, 1, 2, 3, negative minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. It is minus of 2.5, minus of 2.5. It is this point one. Okay, student. So if it is asked on the number line, then very easy, just a point. But on coordinate system, it is a line parallel to x-axis. Students, similarly, you can do the other questions. You have to plot this 3x plus 9 is equals to 0. This we have to plot on graph. Students, for plotting this, here we are getting that it is linear equation in one variable. So get the value of x, minus of 9/3. So x is, dividing it, we are getting this as minus of 3. What will be the graph? Very easy thing. Take the coordinate system. 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Students, now see this. X is minus of 3. So mark that point. X is minus of 3. It is this point. So to draw in the 2 dimension, we have to draw a line passing through this and parallel to this y-axis. Okay, it's so simple. Okay, no? So even this is the simplest kind of graph. So what we are getting, if x has some fixed value, means the graph is parallel to y-axis. These were the concepts. So questions are very easy. Students, let us come to the last topic called word problem. Word problem solution is, in class 10th, we have to just making equations. Problem based equation making. Students, in this case, we have to read the question carefully because the condition is given in the statement form. So the statement have to be converted into equation. That is our task. Students, for writing the equation, the very first step, read carefully the first thing. The next step, students, assume suitable variable. Assume suitable variables. Then the next step is bring the relation between these variables that we are or that we have assumed. So relation between variables. Only these are the three things. A student, in class 10th, we will go one step ahead, solve these equations. Solve equations to get variable value. This we will learn in class 10. So how is this? Let us see one question. Students, let us consider one question. If the cost of pen is thrice of the cost of a pencil, then, student, we have taken the cost of a pen, which is thrice the cost of a pencil, then write it in mathematical form or equation form. Students, our question is, if the cost of a pen is thrice the cost of a pencil, then write it in equation form. Here we are getting that this is talking about cost of a pen and cost of a pencil. These are the variable kind of thing. And here it is given that it is thrice. So if we are denoting, let cost of a pen be x and cost of a pencil be y. Means two kind of unknown things are there. One is x, which is cost of pen, another y, which is cost of pencil. Then what is the condition given? Cost of a pen is thrice, means 3 times cost of a pencil. Means whatever this statement that we have to write mathematically. So cost of the pen means if we are taking one pen, its cost, it is 3 times the cost of the pencil y. So what is the equation? The equation is x, take this on left hand side, minus of 3y is equals to 0. What is this one? So this is the required answer. Students, there may be some constant or some other relation. Let us take one more question. Cost of a notebook is ₹5 more than the twice cost of a pen. Twice the cost of a pen. Then write it in equation form. Then write equation. Students, writing the equation means whatever the cost, that could be the variable kind of thing that we have to correlate. Again, we have to choose suitably. Let cost of a notebook, we have denoted the cost of a notebook by X and cost of a pen by Y. Then, students, we have to understand it carefully. Read the statement again. Cost of a notebook is ₹5 more than the twice cost of a pen. Means first we need to find the twice cost of a pen, means 2. Why we shall get it? Then twice, let me write it, cost of a pen, it means it will be 2y, whatever this y, it is multiplied. Just I have written this much, twice cost of a pen. Now it is saying that cost of a notebook is ₹5 more than twice. Means even taking it twice y, still it is, means the cost of notebook is still ₹5 more. Means what? This X cost of a notebook is ₹5 more than twice the cost of this. Means whatever the cost of, or twice the cost of a pen, in that we need to add 5 more rupees. That's why it is ₹5 more than the twice of the cost of the pen. This way, the variable and constant all are related. So the equation or the relation is x minus 2y minus 5 is equals to 0. This is the way. Students, here just we have to write the equation. That is enough. In class 10, we will frame 2 such equation and we will solve those 2 equations to get the value of unknown. Students, let us see the question number 1 of exercise 4.1. Here, the cost of a notebook is twice the cost of a pen. Write the linear equation into variable to represent this statement. If we consider cost of a notebook as X and the cost of a pen as Y, student, the cost of a notebook we are choosing at the X, then Y, it is saying that this notebook is twice of this pen. So X equals to 2y, that's all. Or even simplifying this, we can bring this y on left hand side, x minus 2y is equals to 0. Writing this or this both mean the same thing. Here hint is also given. The second question, express it in the standard form, find ABC, that we had already learned. So I'm not going to solve those things. Students, let us see the other question. Student, exercise 4.2. These questions we had already done. Question number 1, how many solutions for this equation? We have learned that it have infinite many solutions. Means xy pair can be taken any number which can satisfy this. Write down the 4 solution. As we were taking, we can choose it. Even for this one also, a student, how? You may take, let x equals to 0. What you will get? X equals to 4 into y. So y is 0 by 4. This is also 0. So one of the solution is 0, 0. Students, you may let x equals to 1. Substituting 1 here, 1 equals to 4y. So y is equals to 1 by 4. So you may choose the other solution as 1 by 4. A student, you may choose the y also. Let y is equals to 1. This implies x equals to 4 into 1. This implies the solution could be, a student, 4 into 1 is 4, but x have to be written first, y next. So 4, 1. These are the few solutions that I have written. This way you can get. A student, you have to check which of these are the solutions. This we have already done. Substituting this, in this equation, we can get whether these are the solutions or not. Students, the question number 4 we had also done. Find the value of k so that x equals to 2, y equals to 1 is a solution. Substitute x equals to 2, 2 into 2 plus 3 into y is our 1 is equals to k. Just solve it. 2 to the 4 plus 3 is, left hand side is 7 is equals to k. So k value is 7. This thing we had already done. So exercise 4.2 is over. We had already finished, though I had it revised now once again. Student, this is very important, though very easy chapter, but it's still very important. Okay, no? It is asked many times. Yeah, let us see this. Students, the exercise 4.3, draw the graph of each of the following. You can get the graph. Taking x and y, you can get it. Students, we can draw the graph of this one also. Y is equals to 3x. How is this? Student, we have to draw the graph of x equals to 3y. Again, the same thing. The equation is our x equals to 3y. We have to tabulate some of the solutions. So make a table. Choose the value of x and y as per your convenience and fill this table. Take this x, write the y here. Student, let us take x equals to 0. So when this x value is taken as 0, this y, 3 into y. So 0 by 3 is equals to y. Simply 0 is equals to y. Means the y value is our 0. So when x value we have taken as 0, y we had calculated as 0. Next time, choose some other value of x or y. Students, if we are taking x equals to 1, let us take this. So taking this as 1 is equals to 3y. So y is equals to, this 3 will come in denominator, 1 by 3. It is our 1 by 3. Students, let us take x equals to 6 or 7. Let us take x equals to 6. So 6 is equals to 3y. Y will be 6 by 3. It will be 2. It will be 2. Students, we are free to take the y also. Let us choose the y now. Let us take x, y is equals to 1. So substitute this y is equals to 1 here. So 3 into 1, this is our x. So x is equals to 3. Means the y equals to 1 we have substituted here. We are getting x equals to 3 into y. It is our 3. These are some of the solutions that we have collected. Student, we are free to choose even some of the negative also. Let us take some of the negative values. Let us take x equals to minus 2 or y equals to minus 2. Let us take. So substitute y equals to minus 2, x equals to 3 into minus 2. It is our minus 6. Here we need to take it minus 6. Students, we can take other values also, or I think this much is enough. Now draw the graph. Students, in this case, we are getting that when x is 0, y is 0. Means it is representing the origin. We may make the scale. Student, we have to plot this point. Means 0, 0. Means one point is our this origin itself. Students, the other point is x is 1, y is 1 by 3. When x is 1 here, y is 1/3 of this much. This is total 1, so 1/3. It will be somewhere here. Students, the next one is x is 6, y is 2. X is 6 here, y is 2. Means it will come here. Students, if we take x equals to 3, y is 1. Here we are getting it is here. If we are taking x as minus 2, means it is on the negative side. Y is minus 6. Students, sorry. If we are taking this x as minus 6, means it will be even beyond this. y is minus 2. So just we have to go below this, up to this much 2 only. This point, it is here. Now joining all these things, we are getting that it appears in the straight line. And this straight line is passing through the origin. It is this one. So students, what we are getting? Our equation is x equals to 3y. So this is the graph of x is equals to 3y. Student, in this case, no constant term. Like in earlier we were taking 3x equals to 2y plus 5 or plus 1 something there. So wherever there is no constant term, then what we are getting? This line is passing through origin. So the graph passes through origin. It is important one. Okay. So students, directly even without drawing the graph, the question is framed in MCQs. So the graph of 7x plus 5y is equals to 0. Option A, passes through origin, B, cuts x-axis only, cuts y-axis only, and option 4 is our none. Students, such kind of MCQ question is asked. Here in this question, the plotting the graph is not asked, it is MCQ question. What we have, the equation is our 7x plus 5y is equals to 0. Here we are getting that no constant term, means the constant term c is equals to 0. This implies its graph will surely passes through origin. Students, this can be verified. How? Choose the or make the table. Students, if we are tabulating it, if we are taking this x value as 0, 7 into 0 plus 5y equals to 0, means the y becomes 0 by 5. It is our 0. So this one of the solution is 0, 0. So wherever one of the solution is 0, 0, it is passing through origin. Okay. Now the second question asks, the graph lies in which quadrant? That kind of question is also asked. So student, the same question we have to extend. The graph of 7x plus 5y is equals to 0 lies in option A, first and second quadrant, the option 2, first and third quadrant, the option 3, third and fourth quadrant, the option 4 is second and fourth quadrant. So students, the first part, it was just asked whether it is passing through origin or not. From this solution, one of the solution is 0, 0, so it passes through origin. This is over. But the next question, the same graph, we have to say in which quadrant it lies. For that, we have to take some of the solution. Students, we have the equation 7x plus 5 is equals to 0. Let us take x equals to 1 and let us find the sign of y. So students, we have this 7x plus 5y is equals to 0. Taking x equals to 1. 7 into 1 plus 5y is equals to 0. From here, this 5y is equals to minus of 7. Y is minus of 7 by 5. Now, remember the sign of this. This value is minus of 7 by 5. Students, the other solution that we have chosen is 1 and 7 by 5. What is this sign? It is x is positive, but y is negative. It is this sign. Student, x is positive, y is negative. This is possible in fourth quadrant. We have identified that it lies in this quadrant. In the other quadrant means while taking this x as positive, we are getting y as negative. So x positive, taking x positive, we are getting that the graph will lie in this quadrant. How is the graph? That we will see later. Students, let us take x equals to minus of 2, any or even minus 1 also. If we are taking x as minus 2, substituting in this equation, we are getting 7 into minus 2 plus 5y is equals to 0. Means 5y is equals to 7 to the 14. Y is, it is taken on the right hand side. Okay, now student, it was minus 14 here. Right hand side it have become plus of 14. So directly we have written this as plus of 14. It is 14 by 5. First take this 14 by 5. What we are getting? Means if the x is minus 2, y is 14 by 5. Means if it is negative, then this is positive. So from this analysis or by collecting these solutions, we can check in which quadrant the graph lies. Students, one thing, considering this x positive, y negative, it lies in this fourth quadrant, because we have learned that in our coordinate system, the first quadrant, both x and y are positive. In second quadrant, x is negative, y is positive. In the third quadrant, our both x and y is negative, and in fourth quadrant, x is positive but y is negative. See, what kind of solutions we are getting? One is this 0, 0, means the graph is surely passing through this origin. The other is, once the x is positive, y is negative. X positive, y negative. This indicates it lies in fourth quadrant. The other, taking x negative, y positive, x is negative, y is positive. It is in the second quadrant. So students, the graph lies in fourth and second quadrant only. You cannot get any solution which lies in first and third quadrant. So the answer is here, this fourth one. It is our second and fourth quadrant. Students, if it is asked to draw the graph, we shall plot this. While plotting this point, one is our 0, 0, another x1, y is minus of 7 by 5. So 1, if other one, it is slightly more, means it will come somewhere here. Another time, x is minus 2, y is also nearly minus 2, it will be somewhere here. So on joining these, you will get that the graph is like this. Okay, students, it is like this. This way, the graph lies in second and fourth quadrant. By plotting, you can say, or by watching the sign of these solutions, you can say. Okay, student. So MCQs are framed. It will be asked in your examination, because in which quadrant or how is the quadrant that we have learned. So these are important. So student, the three things that we have noted here. The first is, if the constant term is 0 or no constant term, graph will pass through the origin. The next one is, in which quadrant it lies, that is determined by considering the solution. So take once x positive, point whether y is positive or negative, and then taking x negative whether y is positive or negative. So when the graph is passing through the origin, surely it will lies in only two quadrants. But students, note that if the graph is like this, if the graph of any line is like this, then in which quadrant or in how many quadrant it lies? It lies in first quadrant, then this is our fourth quadrant, and this is our third quadrant. Means if the graph do not passes through origin, then it will lies in three quadrants. But if the graph passes through origin, then it will lies in two quadrants. Okay, now just through the origin it have changed from one quadrant to other. But if the graph is not passing through the origin, then surely it will pass through the three quadrant if it is oblique. Means if it is, say, the curved one, or even the graph is like this one, still it is our second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Students, also remember that the other two special cases that we have learned. If the graph of the x something is given, that we have learned that the graph is like this. If the graph is like this, it lies in first and fourth quadrant. Okay, students, if the graph is like this, consider this one is the graph, it lies in first and second quadrant. Students, if our graph is like this one, then it lies in this third and fourth quadrant. So this is how the MCQs are framed, and you have to understand everything I have explained. Okay, all the type of graph I have explained. This graph we have drawn, such graph we have drawn, this graph we have drawn. This is for x equals to some constant. This is for y equals to some positive number. This is for y equals to some negative number. If the graph is on the negative side, it may lies in second and third also. Okay, student. If the graph is through the origin, then it will lie in two quadrants, just they will cross. Okay, but here it is like this. So this is the differences that we have to understand. So this was all about the today's class and everything we have learned. Nothing is now left. So we have drawn the graph of all such equations. Give the equation of two lines passing through this. How many more such lines can be there? We have to frame the equation of two lines. A student, we have to write two equations which is passing through this. Means this should be the solution. How to write? Very easy thing. Let me explain, or let me take it on our board. Students, इसको हम लोग अपने बोर्ड में ले लेते हैं. Though it is nothing new, but many a time students are getting confused in this question. Students, let us consider the question of our textbook. Give the equation of two lines, means the two equations that we have to write, which is passing through 214. How many more such line can be there? Students, the given point is 214. We have to write two equations. We have to give two lines, means we have to write the two equations. So how to write quickly? Students, so for writing the equation, you shall take this x as one variable and this as y. So this is like our x, this is like our y. Students, for writing it quickly, you take this x with some number. Let us take 2x. You may add it or you may subtract it. Let us consider 3y. Students, rather than 2x, 3y, you may also directly take x and y. Students, for writing the equation, consider this x, means 2 as x, 14 as y. Then from your side, you just take this x with some coefficients. Let us consider 2x, and also this y with some other coefficients. You may take this as positive sign or negative sign. I have taken this positive sign now here. Students, then what it should be on the right hand side? For getting that, you do a rough work that 2 into the x is 2 plus 3 into the y is our 14. How much we will get? Students, so 2 2s are 4 plus 14 3s are 42. So 42 plus 4, it becomes 46. So right hand side should be 46 so that it will satisfy. So this is what one equation that we have written, and how we have determined, just by taking a trial, so that while taking this x and this y, it is satisfying. You can verify this now. Students, after writing this, if we are putting x equals to 2 here, 2 2s are 4, 14 here, 14 3s are 42 plus 4 is 46. We are getting. So just what we are doing for this solution, just reverse way we have written this. Students, so it is the one equation that we have written. Let us write the other equation. Student, rather than appending with x and y, you choose this as x, this as y. Just write the addition x plus y. If you are taking this as x and y, what could be the x plus y? Just on adding, we will get this as the 16. So that 2 plus 14 equals to 16. Students, we are free to choose even the subtraction also. If we are taking x minus y, students, then 2 minus of 14 become minus of 12. So on this side, we shall write as 12. Or, student, this can be rearranged, this constant on left hand side also. X minus y plus 12 is equals to 0. Even this can also be written in the standard form. X plus y minus 16 is equals to 0. Even this can also be written 2x plus 3y minus of 46 is equals to 0. So these are the few equations that we have written. How many such equations can be written? Infinite number. So students, like one more you may write. Let us take this as x and let us subtract this with the twice of y, minus of twice of y. What will be on the right hand side? So student, do the rough work. It is our 2 minus twice of y is our 14 that we are taking. So if we are choosing this equation, on right hand side we shall write the simplification of this. So 2 minus of 28, it is our minus of 26. So we shall write this as the 26. Student, whatever this rough work we have written, do it on the side. No need to do it here. Do it on the rough side only. Okay. So this could be the other equation. So any number of such equations can be written, like x minus 2y plus of 26 is equals to 0. Students, we are free to take even more. Let us consider this x as the 2x and y as the only y plus y only. Students, while taking this as 2x means 2 into this 2, means for getting this right hand side, we shall take 2 into 2 plus y as 14. What is this value? 2 2s are 4 plus 14 is our 18. So here it should be 18. You can verify this by substituting these solutions. Students, taking x equals to 2, 2 2s are 4 and y as 14, it is 18. Student, this can also be written in the standard form, x plus or 2x plus y minus of 18 is equals to 0. So all of these are the solutions. So this way, infinite number of lines can be written. A student, line means, do not think just to draw this line, this line. No, in mathematics, line means the linear equation in two variables. So how was this? How many more such lines are there? So students, infinite lines. After writing this, after giving these two equations, even we have written here 5 equations. So the answer is infinite such lines. Such lines means the equations. Which equation, student? Linear equation in two variable which passes through this point can be written. So this is the way of writing the equation when the solution is given. Students, let us consider the question number 3. Those such question we had already done. The point 3, 4 lies on this equation. Find the value of A. Means x equals to 3 we have to substitute. So let us go for substituting it, and y equals to 4. So 3 into y value is the 4 is equals to A. The x is 3 into 3 plus 7. Students, we have to just simplify this. Bring this 3a on the left hand side. Minus of 3a is equals to 7 is on this right hand side. Bring this 4 3s are 12 on the right hand side, become minus of 12. So minus of 3a is equals to minus of 5. Student, negative sign will get cancelled. So this implies A is 5 by 3. This is the required answer. Okay, student. So questions are very simple. The taxi fare in a city is as follows. For first kilometer, the fare is ₹8. Here we have to frame the linear equation. Just we have learned that concept of framing the linear equation. Means it is the word problem, students. So let me do. Question number 4. The taxi fare in a city is as follows. For the first kilometer, the fare is ₹8. Means whatever the distance is there. If we are considering this is the starting point, this is 1 kilometer. So for this 1 kilometer, it is ₹8. And for the subsequent distance, it is ₹5 per kilometer. Students, from 0 to 1 means the 1 kilometer covered, the cost given will be ₹8. Then subsequent to this means if you are going for the 2 kilometer, then it will be ₹5. Then the third kilometer, again 5. Fourth kilometer, again this is ₹5. These are the rupees or the cost. Okay, students. So what we are getting? It have a fixed cost of ₹8. Then afterward, how much kilometer you are moving, that much kilometer multiplied by 5. Students, say you are moving for 5 kilometers. Okay, students. So for 5 kilometers, if you are moving, then how much cost you need to pay? Students, watch it carefully. If you are moving for this 5 kilometer, student, 1 kilometer, ₹8. Second kilometer, 5. Third, 5. Fourth, 5. Fifth is 5. So this 5 is being multiplied by 4. And this 8 is being added in that. That will be the total fare. So to write the equation for n kilometer, we have to take n minus 1. Keep in mind, it is coming here this 5, 4. How is this 4? It is these 4 which are other than this first kilometer. Okay, so this concept is very useful. It is asked even in the class 10th, but here we have to write just the equation. So students, subsequent distance is ₹5 per kilometer that we have represented. Taking the distance covered as x kilometer, the total fare as y. Write down the linear equation. Students, the total distance now covered here is the x. Means what? Students, it is going on, going on. Total distance covered is x. Students, again remember, this is our x kilometer. Means for this x kilometer, this much distance is our x minus 1 kilometer. Students, this is the 1 kilometer. So that the total distance from here to here is x. Student, the cost for this 1 kilometer is rupees 8, and the cost for this remaining distance of x minus 1 kilometer. Student, why we have taken the x minus 1 kilometer? Because these x minus 1 kilometer are covered as a fixed rate of rupees 5. But the first kilometer was covered by rupees 8 only. Students, therefore, for the first kilometer rupees 8 he have to pay, and for the remaining distance of x minus 1 kilometer, he will have to pay this x minus 1 multiplied by 5. It is this rupees. Students, it is given that this total fare, this will become the total fare. This value is y. So what is the equation? Rupee symbol can be dropped, student. Therefore, our equation is like this: 8 plus 5 x minus 1 is equals to y. This is the equation. Student, this may be written in the simplified form. Let us simplify this. X plus 5x minus 5 is equals to y. Bring it on the left hand side. Write the x first. So 5x, bringing y on left hand side, minus of y. Then 8 minus of 5 is our plus of 3 is equals to 0. So this is the required equation. Okay, student? So it is the word problem based question. Very important and very good question. Okay? It is asked in class 10th. So students, this way we have learned all these things. Students, let us consider the question number 5. From this choice of the questions and the equation which are given, some graphs are given. So from the choice given below, choose the equation whose graph is given below. Means these are the various equations for the figure 4.6. Student, for this figure 4.6, we have to choose, we have to take this. See, student, this is our graph. Let me slightly reduce this size. Again, very easy. So for this figure 4.6, these are the equations which are considered. Students, for these equations, for the figure 4.6, which one could be the graph or which one could be the equation? Just we have learned that the graph is passing through origin, means its constant value is 0. One thing is c is equals to 0. So from this, we are getting that this could not be possible because it is the constant. So the possibility could be this one. But now it is passing through the second and fourth quadrant. Students, so in second and fourth quadrant, you are getting that x is negative, y is positive. Student, but here in this case, even if you are taking x as positive, y become positive. So this is not possible. Students, also for this third one, taking x as positive, say x as 1, the y will come. Example, here we are taking if x as 1, the y value will come 2 into 1, it is 2. Means both are positive, but here it is given that one's positive, another negative. So this cannot be the value. So this is not possible. So which option is left? It is this one. It is obviously representing the equation x equals to minus y. So once positive, once x is positive, y is negative. Or if the y is positive, x is negative. So it is this second one. Students, similarly, we have to search for this one. In this case, we are getting that graph is not passing through origin, means surely the constant cannot be 0. But what it could be? For finding that, whatever these solutions are there, you substitute in this and find which one of these is satisfying this. If I am substituting this first in this one, substitute it. Y is 2, x is 0. Means taking this as the 2 is equals to taking x as 0 plus 2. Yeah, it's okay. Means left hand side is 2, right hand side is 2. So first itself is satisfying. Students, if we are taking this for this equation, then what it becomes? If we were considering this one, y as 2 is equals to x value is 0 minus 2. In this case, we will get 2 is equals to minus 2, which is not possible. Students, in this case, we are getting that left hand side is 2, right hand side is minus 2, which is not possible. Therefore, this cannot be the graph. Similarly, you can also verify that. Let us take it for the third one. If we are putting this in the third one, students, x is 0, y is 2. So if we are taking this third one, 2 is equals to, it is our minus of 0 plus of 2. Minus 0 plus 2 is 2. It is 2. So it's okay. Student, this graph is also for this third one. But students, it's not enough. We also have to verify this point, because here we are getting that from this single point. Even it could be the third one or the first one. So the other point we also have to verify. If we are taking this in this third one, let us take it this here. X is 2, y is 0. So taking this as 0, x as 2 means minus of 2 plus of 2. Yeah, it is 0 is equals to 0. So it is satisfying. It is correct. Because this 2 point, through 2 point only one line can pass, and it is this. Can it be like this one? If we are taking this coordinate point in this first one, then how it become? Student, then it become y is 0 and x value we need to take it 2 plus 2. So 0 is equals to 4. Student, this is not possible. Therefore, whatever first we were considering, that is not possible, student. Why? First we have checked for only 1 point. So even for this 1 point, both first and third are satisfying, because through 1 point there can be infinite lines. Okay, but through the 2 points we have to get only 1 line. That's why the other point we also have to check, means check for the 2 points only. Here we are getting in the third, the 2 points are satisfying, and in all other cases the 2 points are not satisfying. Students, then you have to put this y equals to 3 in the equation. You will get, it will be like this one, and y is equals to 3. If we are considering this, students, y equals to 3 if you are considering. So if we consider this is the coordinate axis, y is equals to 3, means on y axis you need to go for the 3 unit. This will be the line. Okay, in 2 variable, and in 1 variable, student, how will be this? 0, 1, 2 and 3. This point you have to mark. Similarly, you have to do this. Just I had explained all of this. Okay, student. So this was all about this chapter. I have explained each and everything.